Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends on where you're watching us from, but at some point I know it's gonna be a morning when you're watching this video. It's either in the morning, it's either in the afternoon, it's either in the evening, it's either at night. So hi, and how are you doing? As usual, my name is Zippy Jonas, and today is a bright morning that we need to rejoice and be glad that the Lord has made the day for us. Today, without even wasting so much time, I want us to talk about mental health. Mental health is something that is really affecting us, by the way, guys. And I thought, because we've really been talking about NCLEX, we've talked about immigration, and in this channel, we are all of us. Like, we're not talking only to nurses, It's not all nurses who are subscribers of this channel. There are other people still who are not medics or something. So I thought, guys, there's so much that is happening in the country, and I felt like, no, we should tackle, because there are so many things that we're trying to assume there, but the things that are happening on the ground, things are bad, like things are terrible. So let's ask ourselves, what is mental health? As we all know, Mental Health Awareness Month is coming in a few weeks, because it's normally in the month of May, and then World Mental Health Day month inakuanga ni October. So before you even wait to the month of May so that we talk about mental health, let's talk about mental health, and we ask ourselves, what is mental health? If I Google it up here, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. If you're talking about mental health, what are we talking about? We are saying you have to be a well person, wholesomely. If you're healthy, it means you are free from any illness, right? Like you have no flu, you have no illness. So when we term you as an individual with a normal mental health, like you're okay mentally, what do we say? We say that emotionally you're okay, psychologically you're okay, and your social well-being, the relationship between you and the other person, the intersocial, the intrasocial, it's healthy. You're able to maintain, or you're able to start up a relationship with your fellow nurses, with your fellow co-workers, with your people around you, with your kids and stuff, and you're able to maintain that healthy relationship. Would say that you have a well mental health, like you're in a position, you're in the best space of a mental health. It affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act. It also determines how we handle our stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices in life. Mental health is important at every stage of life, either childhood, adolescence, and all through adulthood. Like, we could be talking of a child who has a mental health, right? Like cerebral palsy, that's a mental health. Like autism, it's a mental health that is diagnosed as early as a child is very young. So we are talking about mental health running through all your stages of life, okay? That is important for us to understand. Let's take a case scenario of Zippy now, me as your nurse. For example, I may be in a position that I'm not able to maintain a relationship between me and my fellow workers. I am not in a position to maintain a relationship between me and my children. I am not in a position to maintain a healthy relationship between me and myself. Like, there are so many conflicts within myself that tells you I'm not in a good space mentally, right? How will you identify that this person is not okay, this person is not right? Because, guys, we may ignore these things, but this is what is happening on the ground. Like in the country right now as we speak, there are so many bad cases that you find on social media until you're left wondering, where did humanity go? It's because people out there are battling and they are fighting depression. People are fighting so many bad things to do with their mental health. Okay? We've said it affects how we think. You may come across a human being or a person, maybe your friend at work, but then you're left wondering, wait, what's wrong with this person? Like, yo, how are you thinking, man? Don't judge that person. Before you end up judging that person, ask yourself, is this person mentally okay? Does this person suffer from any kind of a mental disorder? Because when we were growing, like when we were growing up, when we were young, I remember there's a time in the village down there, people used to say everybody is mad. Like in Kikuyu, we used to say, kila mundu ni muguruki. It's only that degree matters. Like I am mad, somebody else is, like we are all mad. It's only that our degrees matter. So ask yourself, before you are unable to deal with the person next door, before you are unable to deal with your neighbor, before you are unable to deal, like you can't handle, you can't cope your colleague, are you suffering from a mental health? Does that person has a mental disorder? You understand? So don't judge. Let's not judge. We've said it helps determine how we handle our stress in life. Stressors are there. Like everybody is going through stress right now. Left, right, and center. Like everybody is battling a stressor in their life. Stressor could be you don't have enough money. You've taken loans with a bank. You've taken loans with Fuliza. You've taken loans everywhere. So you have no enough money. That is a stressor. You know, the community that we are living in right now, so many things are going on. You find that somebody has a good life, somebody is driving a Porsche car, because you're not able to handle and manage yourself. You feel like that person, the person next door is stressing you because of the kind of life they are living. That is a stressor. I mean, if I talk about stress, stressors are so many, right? So we need to ask ourselves, if I am mentally unhealthy, am I able to handle my stress? Am I able to relate with others? Am I able to make healthy choices? And that's where I want us to talk about healthy choices. That is the point I want us to emphasize. For healthy choices. Are we able to make healthy choices with our lives? Are we able to make healthy choices with our kins? Are we able to make healthy choices in regards to our life? If I'm a nurse and I'm given a patient to deal with, am I able to make a healthy choice in regards to the care and management of that patient? Even before you talk about becoming a USRN or something, are you in the best mental state for you to handle that kind of life? You understand? Because guys, there's so many things that are happening. It is also important, like we've said, it runs through all stages of life, from childhood, adulthood, like the last minute until you become old. Because you see, there are some people who are suffering from mental health. Dementia is at old age, and that is a mental health, right? So it runs through all stages of life. So before we talk about like what are these conditions and what intrigued me to talk about these conditions, let's talk about the components, the three major components of mental health. Cognitive is one thing. How are you able to receive information and perceive it in your brain? Like, how is your brain, how is your IQ, how are you able to think critically about the situation at hand? How is your cognitive state of health, mindset? You know, how is your emotional? Are you that person who breaks down every now and then simply because of a small thing? Are you in a better state emotionally for you to deal with other issues that affect other people in life? Are you in a better state to deal with your emotional self? You know, you find somebody like, for example, something is happening in the country, like maybe just the other day we were having those maandamano demonstrations and stuff, but there's some people at their personal level, they get affected by that thing nationally because they are not at a good state emotionally. Maybe this person has ever been affected by like 2007, we had a very bad post-election violence. So this person is trying to imagine if people go to the street like today. I lost a family member during 2007. So every time you mention of maandamano, this person breaks down because they are not in the best state of the emotional state. That is affecting their mental health. Okay? Another component is behavioral. Behavioral health is very important when it comes to matters mental health. Behavioral health is very important when we're talking about mental health. Your behavior determines whether you're okay mentally. How you behave, how you conduct out yourself, how you carry out yourselves in front of people, it tells us who you are. It tells us who you are. At what point is your, your mental health, how is it? You know, guys, we are talking about these things because we need to understand at what point Do you feel like now this thing is taking toll on me? It's taking toll on my emotional behavior. It's taking toll on my emotional, cognitive, and behavioral. So at the end of the day, it will affect my mental health. At what point do you realize, hey, like, but for sure, this thing is taking toll on me? Because at some point, you'll end up getting those funny conditions. You will be vulnerable to getting stroke, heart diseases, those kind of peptic ulcers. You find somebody telling you, oh, may I have ulcers, I have to swallow omeprazole like every day of my life because, I'm stressed out, I have, so many conditions. It's because you're not able to handle, you are not in the best state of your mental health, okay? So guys, why are we talking about these things? And before we even get to those things, of the things that we talked about there, making healthy choices in life, we've said, if you have a mental health disorder, what kind of a mental health disorder could you be suffering from? Or how many types of mental disorders do we have? Or what are people in the community that you live in right now? Are you able to diagnose and tell, hey, your ZP is suffering from something? What is this something that you may be able to diagnose even if you're not a medic? One, it could be depression. That is a mental health disorder. It's one type. Second, anxiety disorders. You've had people who say, I normally get panic disorders. Anxiety, you're just anxious, you're sweating your hands, like you're ever anxious. Anything that triggers the anxiety in you, it becomes too bad. It becomes a disease because it's already a disease. It's already a disorder. Another thing, mood disorders. Hey, today in the morning you wake up, you find with zip. I'm not saying, everybody has a mental disorder. It depends on how you control and how able your body can cope with it. So every day you wake up in the morning, somebody is so moody, like in a whole month. For us ladies, it's understandable because of the emotional, hormonal things, the hormonal imbalances in our body and stuff. But you find that there are some extreme cases, you realize somebody wakes up today, they are in a bad mood, like they are in bad moods. You can even tell on those social medias, you see people telling you that your boss today was in a bad state. Like today in the morning, maybe things didn't work out well with him or her in the house. So they are just in bad mood, they're just in bad mood. So that is also one of the mental disorders that we have. It's also one type. Then we have psychotic disorders. That is self-explanatory. We have eating disorders. There are some people who can't eat. It's called anorexia nervosa in medical term. Like somebody sees food and they throw up, especially at this age of adolescence and stuff. Anorexia, it's a bad eating disorder. Somebody is so skinny, they don't want to eat anything. Give them water, they vomit. I mean, water is just a natural thing. That's an eating disorder. Then there are others who have bulimia nervosa. They eat a lot, they binge a lot. They be like binge eating. They are eating a lot, but at some point they will, they become so big. It's also an eating disorder. If you find somebody in that situation or in that state of that tells you this person is not in the right state of the mind. Like something is not right. We also have personality disorders. Everybody has got a personality disorder, and that's where now this comes back to the main point that we said. We need to talk about the making healthy choices. You may be dealing like me now. I am not able to make healthy choices because I have a personality disorder, and maybe I am dealing with somebody else who have a personality disorder. We've heard of narcissistic people. You're in a relationship with somebody, but this person is a narcissistic person. Everybody, Google it up in social media. And I think we could talk about it right now, briefly, now that we've mentioned. What do we mean if somebody is like narcissistic, Narcissistic personality disorder, in an overview, it's a disorder in which a person has an inflated sense of self-importance. It is like when you're so much grandiose, like you feel you're the only person who is important in life. So imagine you have a personality disorder yourself. Narcissistic personality disorder is found more commonly in men. Assuming I'm in a relationship with a man who has that personality disorder, and then me, I'm not able to make healthy choices simply because I also have my personality disorders. Because even ladies, they also have it, The cause is unknown, but likely involves a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Those people are very, very, very dangerous to deal with. It requires a medical diagnosis to diagnose this person, because symptoms include an excessive need for admiration, disregard for others' feelings, an inability to handle any criticism, and a sense of entitlement. If you understand what is grandiose, this person feels like they are the president. They feel like they own the world. You know, if you have to, they are more important than you. So now imagine yourself being in a relationship with that person, and maybe you had an issue when you were growing up. You had such a father. You saw your mother going through the same thing that you're going through right now. That is childhood trauma, because maybe that is the cause of your predicaments right now. Or maybe you've gone through a trauma, like maybe you ever, you know, even rape is something that happens every day. I mean, you went through trauma when you were a child, childhood things that we went through. Then you hear as an adult, you meet somebody who has a narcissistic personality disorder, and then it gets to a point you feel like you're not being appreciated. Your feelings are not being appreciated at any given point. Why am I talking about these things? Guys, people are dying out there because of depression. People are killing themselves out there because of depression. Please check out on your kins. Of recent, we've seen things that are going around social media. Somebody of a guy who recorded a wife killing herself, committing suicide and stuff. From where I stand, I feel like that guy was narcissistic. He has that sense of like, I am the best. I have the power to control everything. Because one thing, let's ask ourselves, if maybe this person was battling a depression. Because if you've seen those videos going around and stuff, you could tell that the lady was intoxicated. Why was she intoxicated? If you try to narrow down and look at the history, maybe this person, according to the rumors, we are not sure. Everybody is not sure. Like, you know, these are the things that we are seeing. But we need to understand our mental state of health. Because this person, one, she is intoxicated. Then two, there is the husband who is recording you having, let me call it a murder weapon. Guys, forgive me if I use this word. Because somebody is holding something that we think is going to poison them. You're there recording that person because you feel no sense of humanity. That is what I feel from where I stand. I'm not judging, but I feel like this lady was suffering from a certain type of a mental health. Because one thing, she is intoxicated. Second thing, even the way she's talking, you know, the way she's throwing out things, it's like she was trying to seek for attention, thinking that maybe the husband would side with her. Because at the end of the day, even before the lady collapses and started frothing, she realized that this guy at some point maybe would help me, would feel empathetic or sympathetic with me and assist me. So she went and fell down at the foot of this, at the foot of this guy, believing that this guy is going to assist me in a way. But somebody who is not even feeling remorseful still continues recording. And then the way he is gassing that lady even before, by the beginning of the clip, he just mix it all, swallow it, gather everything together. You're trying to console somebody who is already not in the right mental state. From the video, you can tell that this person had a mental health issue. She is intoxicated. We don't know whether she was suffering from depression. Maybe the guy had some personality issue. It's a couple, so maybe they were going through a lot of issues. What am I trying to say? Guys, let's check out on other people. Let's be our sister's keeper. Let's be our brother's keeper, right? If you realize that somebody is going through something, please don't mock that person. Be the best person who will assist that person in becoming what they will have become tomorrow, a better person. Be a person who is advocating for change. Be a person who is there and assisting this person to become the best person in life. Don't be the person who is there trying to orchestrate, bad things to happen. I mean, guys, you cannot just stand here and look at me when I'm trying to commit suicide. In the sense that you want to appear the best person because you recorded. You want to be an eyewitness. You want to remove yourself from the whole castigation and stuff. You want to be away from, guys, let's be, people are battling issues out there. People are having mental health issues. Please be your sister's keeper. Be your brother's keeper. People out there are battling a lot of stress. There are so many stresses around. Please don't be the person who is trying to encourage things that, you know, it's not the best. It's not the best. Guys, that's why I felt like, because, sorry guys, before I got distracted, I was saying, be the person who is taking care of the person who is next to you. Do not be the person who is trying to orchestrate, like, you know, for lack of a better word, do not be the person who is gassing and hyping the person who is about to take their lives. Human life is very important. Let's not be the people, you know, let's not kill each other, guys. Let's preserve humanity. Let's preserve, you know, let's preserve human life. It's very important. It's very important, guys. It's very important. And without further much ado, let me just say, please be your sister's keeper. Please be your brother's keeper. Let's mind each other. Let's realize and let's be in a position to diagnose. Even if you're not a medic, let's be in a position to diagnose that, hey, maybe this person is suffering from a depression. What do I need to do? Can I take this person to the hospital for medical, like an MSA, mental status evaluation? You know, just pop into a hospital and tell people, and tell you know, just even lie to that person. Tell them, by the way, it has happened twice. You've tried like committing suicide twice, and I don't think this is the best thing for you. So what we do, let's go to the hospital. Let's talk to a doctor. Let's seek for some you know, just some evaluation. Let's understand what is happening, because you could be going through something that you don't know. Because we've said, guys, it will affect the way you make your choices. It will affect, if you have a mental health issue, it will affect how you think. It will affect yourself, your thinking, your critical thinking, your judgment, your way of making choices. When somebody is drunk and they're holding something, they want to kill themselves, then you tell them, oh, kill, you know, drink. Between you and the person who is holding that cup to swallow down, you know, swallow down to their guts, then later you're telling people, bring milk, you know, we need to, you know, an antidote. What are you trying? That is, you know, that's bullshit. I would say that's bullshit. Personally, me as a human being who feels like that was not right, I condemn it. From my own point of view, I feel like this person, from where I stand as a medical personnel, as a nurse, from where I stand, I blame the guy. Why? You cannot stand there, sit there as you watch somebody who is trying to commit suicide, so that later you become an eyewitness. I mean, come on, guys. Where is the humanity, you know? Hata kama tunasema, let's ask ourselves, humanity ilienda wapi jamini? You cannot look at me when I want to commit suicide, and then you give me a rope and you tell me, maybe I'm suffering from a mental health. You know, people out there, they're arguing that when somebody wants to commit suicide, when they want to kill themselves, at some point they will still kill themselves. Be that person who brought a change to that person's life before you say, at the end of the day, they would have killed themselves. Be that person who is, you know, be that person who has brought, afadhali hata you record, you know, keep, you know, nowadays people, I don't know what's happening. Just put the phone somewhere. If you really want to record it, and let's see you fighting that person who is trying to kill themselves. Let's see behind the scenes. Let's see you fighting with a lady because you threw away the murder weapon, whatever, like it, whatever it is that they want to use, guys. Like, let's see you fighting and say for sure you tried. Now, what do you have to tell us right now? What do you have to say? Anyway, I don't know, but personally, I feel like no, guys, we need to change. We need to change. By the way, we need to love each other. We need to go back to the life that we loved. You know, that life that people loved and valued, humanity. I don't know whether it's because at my age I grew up knowing that human life is very important. The world that we are in right now, the kind of life that we are living right now, it's just but a rotten society. Yani, people, you know, killing somebody is not a big deal. I mean, killing somebody is not a big, because once I stand there and I see you watching, if me watching from a video itself is so traumatizing for me. And me, I work in a hospital, but seeing that person dying from point A of that video to the last minute is so traumatizing. Who are you? And me, I've been seeing people die every day, but I'm feeling like, hey, no, this is not the best thing. I've seen so many people die. So many, guys, I've seen so many people die. But I have that thing in me, like, you know, human life is very important. It's very precious. It's very, I don't know how even to say it. But you're out there recording somebody you call your wife, recording somebody you call my princess, recording somebody you call my baby mama, my wife, my whatever, my sugar honey, sugar pie, sugar whatever, and then you throw it out on social media. Like, so many things are happening. I just feel like I want just God to come back and, you know, Jesus should come back and cleanse everybody. Mental health is very important. Before we get to the month of mental health, please watch out on your sisters, watch out on your brothers. I will insist on this. Guys are battling mental health issues. Even you nurses who are working towards your American journey. We've said when you go to America, by the way, check on your people. Especially when you go to America and you're immigrating from Africa. I understand, I've never been there, but I understand when people go there, they don't have a social life. And we said, for you to have a good mental health, even social well-being should also, it also should be incorporated. Behavioral, social well-being, psychological, like all of them. They come hand in hand. You could be in a social well-being, like social being, like you find socially and stuff. You're okay, like you have money, but you don't have the social support. The support system is not there. Your behavior and stuff will be affected. You're not health mentally. So let's check out on our people. I just feel like, no, I should just, let me be a voice that will help somebody out there. Maybe somebody will listen to me and say, hey, anyway, I need to watch out. I need to look out at my brother. Somebody out there is suffering, and maybe they're not talking it out. You know, like, yeah, so kind of a things. Without wasting so much time for you guys, just have a good day. God bless you, and let's mind our people. Let's just mind our people.